Well, obviously a huge win for our program. For this team, it was going to take an effort that we need to really play well, and whether we entirely played well or not, we played well enough, and the guys, believed in each other. I certainly think we're the more physical team, and that was one aspect that we needed to have come true. And we were -2 in the takeaway margin, and I know this. We possessed the ball on offense, kept them off the field, and defensively, we stood up against as explosive offense as you probably see at this level. So, with that, I'll open up for questions.
You guys gave up 2 touchdowns in the first 10 minutes of the game, and I don't even think they had a first down for the next 2 quarters. So, any adjustments, or was it just a matter of settling in?
I think a matter of settling in. I think we knew they were going to make some plays. There's no panic. Stick to the plan. Maybe tackle a little bit better. Sequencing calls and stuff like that. I'm sure there was, some adjustments for sure. But, I think our guys just knew that they're going to make some plays, and however that goes, we got to keep after them. We didn't need to reinvent ourselves to beat this team, and we just need to play well. And defensively, we really did that today.
What do you think of your ground game? Not only Isaiah, but your offensive line, especially kind of some adjustments there at that guard position.
Yeah. I think we felt like, again, that physical aspect would be an area we'd have to win. A unit is an O-line. It's a group that has to play together, and I'm guessing from a run perspective, we did a pretty good job of that. And Isaiah is, he's a hard guy to bring down. And to him to be on that other side of 30 again with his carries, I think that was what it took today. He needed to be able to make some plays and break some tackles, and he did just that.
I think for the past couple of weeks we've been talking about Matt struggling a little bit, but I think he came out today and made a statement that maybe that bye week really helped him. Could you just talk about his performance today and maybe what was different this week?
Well, I think he had a chance to hit the reset a little bit. I think both from a health perspective and, I think going back to square one on some fundamental aspects. For him to be able to pop that run early and finish that run, he hasn't really had a run of that nature all season, so that was a huge play for him to get him going. And, I think the connections that him and Lance made, in particular the long variety, I think we've been seeing it all year, but to have that show up in a big game like that. And there were some, simple things that he did today too. And I know we'll look back. I think the 2 turnovers, obviously, we can't have that. Trying to do too much on the interception, and then I'll have to look at it. I also don't think he handled that snap on the fumble. But Matt did enough for us to win the game today, and we're going to continue to need that out of him.
First win over the Eagles in a decade. What was the atmosphere in the locker room just now like, and what did you say to your team after this win?
Well, you look at all the stats here. They've won a lot of football games, in particular the last 11 years or whatever since they went to the red turf. They've had it's a really good program. It's way more than the red turf. And I know we've been on the other side of this matchup. But these guys, by and large, the guys on our team haven't played out here. There was a few that played out here back in, I think, 17. But I think our guys recognize and respect all these opponents that they're playing, and understand to do the things we want to, you got to go on the road and do what we did in Ogden. You got to go on the road and do what we did today. And at the same time, understand that while we've set ourselves up well, we got a lot in front of us yet today. And that's kind of the combined message. Enjoy it for sure, because this is hard to do. But we got a game next week against Idaho that will be our last home game in the regular season that we need to win.
You mentioned the defense, but holding them to 20 points, it's just 14 less than they've scored all season. Anything specific that you just think was especially good? Was it pressure? Was it coverage?
Well, I said it back on Monday, I believe. It was going to take a team effort. The time of possession, the way it was tilted, even though we didn't capitalize in the red zone offensively, they were over on the sideline quite a bit. And anytime that happens offensively, especially when you're explosive, there's a nature to probably press a little bit. And, the three and outs, the plays we were able to make on first down, it's a lot can be made of the third down plays, but getting them behind the sticks, I think, over and over again, I know we'll look back is key. Keeping a quarterback at bay that's as talented as him. And he still made a bunch of plays, but I think we won that battle. So, I'll take great defense over great offense any day, and I think that's the way it worked out today.
Yeah, you mentioned it kind of not capitalizing, but they didn't capitalize on your mistakes. Troy's drop, the missed field goal. You get a safety after the fourth down.
Yeah, that's football games, right? I think you want it to go perfectly, and I think we have a team that understands if something doesn't go our way, all right, let's move on. A lot of teams let those plays compound themselves, and then they don't make the next one. I think that's what this team, for the most part, over and over again this season has been able to do. Good, bad, whatever the play is, move on to the next one. And trust each other. The defense out there trusting each other, trusting guys to do their job is what we're all about. And proud of the way those guys trust our coaches, and the coaches came up with a great plan, and we couldn't be more proud of them.
I know you want your team to focus on itself, but does this feel a little bit, winning at number 5 team in the country, does this feel a little like a statement win, maybe that you're among the national title contenders?
Oh, you know what? I think what we talked about is we're in November now, and everybody wants to point to the playoffs and say championships are won in December. They're won in November. They're won as you continue to play better and get better, and you come on the right side of games where you're really tested. I think that's the biggest thing. However November played out, where we played, who we played, we couldn't control that, but we're here now, and we need to find a way this week, next week, moving forward to keep getting better, and then that's what ultimately will propel us into whatever we can do down the road.
What did you think of Freddie getting the young DBs ready? Seemed like they stepped up.
Yeah, I'm certain getting James back out there and Tyrell going. But you look at, Simeon Woodard, he's given up a whole bunch of height, and he was positioned well on a couple plays. I think Eric Zambrano was in there. I think our safety group between Trey and Ty and Jeff has been rock solid all year. So, that group, while, was inexperienced coming, we felt like was really talented. And, I think as this season has gone on, we've gotten better and better, and that's a credit to Coach Banks, Coach Reisinger, and just those guys.
Having a guy like Troy that can run like he can at inside linebacker, how much advantage does that give you against a team like that?
Well, I
guess he gives
you're putting
you
a better
one, right?
you're putting a better X out there than most, I
Right.
guess. We're talking X's and O's. So, yeah, it does allow you to do some things different, both in a coverage and from a blitz perspective, and just appreciate his continued effort for him to get better. He's playing this position for the first time in his career, and there's been a steady improvement about his game, and that could be said for many of our guys. So, it's check one off in November here, and I think we showed that we made some progress today, and we need to continue to do that.
Tui and Cole, can you say what happened with them?
Cole didn't make the trip. Cole was injured. Tui sat today, violation of team rules, and that's all I'm going to say on that.
Okay.